right, so as promised, we have Dean Schneider, who is our, well, he's not really brand new, he's been here before, but he's the newest of the commissioners here for. And then we have Mr. George Jones, who's over DOT, which we all want to hear from. So, we have lots of questions. I know that there'll be a period for questions and answers after, but of course, we're all interested in the Dallas-Acworth, this road. There's a lot we have questions about because it's getting harder and harder and harder for us to get around here. So, and get in and out. And the red line at the top of Fry Road has been a godsend. We're all very happy about it. And the other thing is, I have my notes right here, so we can start addressing some of these as we go. So I'm gonna just turn it over to you guys if you have anything you want to say before we start addressing some of the issues, unless we just want to jump right into it.
Whatever you want.
Okay.
I would say let's just jump right into it, and we can ad lib from there.
So many of us came to a meeting over there at Moses Middle School a couple months ago where you had the proposed road information. And so on the map, and I didn't bring any of the maps with me, I should have, but I didn't. On the map, it shows right out here beyond us that the road is going to be widened. And it's going to either take some of our property or the property across the street. And I don't know if there's been a determination of that yet or not. Do you know?
No, I mean, what you went to, that was we're in the scoping phase. So basically, scoping is kind of taking a problem and trying to go to what the solution is. It's not necessarily the hard engineering, vertical and horizontal to get there. So it has not set the actual roadway alignment. There's no nails in the ground saying this is the exact center line. It's more of this is where it's likely to be. That phase, the preliminary engineering will come after the scoping phase. The scoping phase is projected to end sometime in mid-2026. At that point, we'll start the preliminary engineering.
Next year.
Yes, yeah.
So
It was based
construction
on.
will be start next year.
What's that?
Construction will.
No, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna give you an example. State highway projects, like, widening projects, those take decades. Our one that we have right now, that is a widening project, that's on Cedarcrest Road going from Harmony Grove Church Road to the Cobb County line.
We're going to talk about that one too.
We're likely to start, I believe, construction, if we have the funding in May of 2027, and that is a 9-year time span. So
That's been on the docket for 9 years?
it's been working on for 9 years, and that's fast. I mean, because you have to acquire right away. There's like 170 parcels of right of way, and then you got to do the engineering, and you got to go. These are federally projects going through the federal process, so you have to go through ecological, historical, and environmental. I mean, there's all these different benchmarks and thresholds that you have to go.
So where he's talking about, if you come up Cobb Parkway or 41, Highway 41, and you turn right there at the Publix and Cedarcrest. Well, it's kind of, yeah. So when you're coming up there, they're going to widen that all the way to Harmony Church Grove Road. So a lot of us take that shortcut because 92 is such a nightmare that we take that way to get around to get back out on Cobb Parkway. So that's going to be under construction. 92 is going to be under construction.
So if we're lucky, 92 will be finished or close to finished when Cedarcrest basically starts. It'll be right in that area, so
That's good.
at least you've got a second option, most likely.
And that's why
a better one probably, but that's
the plan, and we don't want to start that one until 92 is
Okay,
done.
well, that's a good plan because we all know what it's like to get out towards 41, right? So, all right, so that's one of the other ones we want to talk about, Cedarcrest and Harmony Church Grove Road, but that's on the plan to start next year.
I believe it's, like I said, construction, and again, depending on the funding, I believe it's a $43 million project. We don't have all the funding. We're trying to get, obviously we try to get state, federal grants wherever possible rather than using just SPLOST funds. We try to make our SPLOST funds go as far as possible. So we're going to continue to try to get state and federal funding, but like I said, right now it is May 2027 is the anticipated date. All the right-of-way will be acquired.
so where we're at right now with that is acquiring the right of way. We're probably 40 to 50 properties into it.
Yeah.
As far as having acquired 10, 20, 50 feet, whatever it might be of, obviously the roadside. Out of a little over 130-ish, give or
I
take,
think it's 160 by the time we got it all.
to finish negotiating and acquire. So that's why it's gonna take a good another year. We've been into it since the beginning of this year as far as acquiring property, right? Probably
It was last year, right?
late last year or something we
Yeah,
started.
mid-late.
So we've been into it about a year and have gotten that far on that part. But
Just to repeat, construction on that won't begin until 27 sometime.
yeah. Next year will still be all acquiring property and then finalizing the design.
So we hope, then that makes a little more sense that the hopefulness of the other road being completed.
Right, this is supposed to be,
Getting that-
that's supposed to be completed in calendar year 2026.
Okay, that's good to know.
And again, it's,
Yes.
yes, it's a state project and I don't have any oversight, nor does the Board of Commissioners, but, you know, we obviously work closely with the state and they're scheduled right now, as of last month, they provided me, so they're gonna be completed in calendar year 2026.
I don't know if any of you've been down to, gone to Crossroads and turned right onto 92 and tried the new roundabout.
Yeah,
Tried that?
I like it, pretty good. I like the roundabout.
I tried it the other day, Sunday morning on the way to church, and almost got, some guy was coming down 92 and thought he had the right of way, even though I was in the roundabout almost up to his road and came plowing straight through there, so be careful. So,
It takes a while for them to
yeah,
understand.
it's gonna take a while. So, talking about our road right here now, I know that in that meeting that that gathering that was at Moses Middle School, I was told that it's gonna be at least 5 years before they even start on this project right here, but you're saying it may be even longer.
It's likely to be longer than that.
Okay.
It's not as long as the Cedarcrest, but it takes time.
So the way I'm looking at it is most of the people in our neighborhood are 70 plus, so that may be.
I'm gonna hold out hope for y'all. Best wishes.
But you know, so in some cases we may not even have to worry about it, right? But I wanted to know about, because there's so much noise on this highway right now,
Yes.
okay? So is there going to be a noise study done, or whatever you call it, in order for us to have the sound barrier walls if it is in that threshold
Right,
area?
yeah. What I'll say is, you know, as part of the preliminary engineering process, there will be noise studies done. They're gonna basically compare what is existing, what will be projected with the additional lanes. And again, it's a requirement on federal money on projects where there's widenings. You have to do a noise study. At that point, you know, they'll know whether it's warranted or not warranted. Even if it's warranted, it still has to be constructible. You're also gonna send out, to those people who, let's say there was a section of this project where a noise wall was warranted, they would still send out a survey to those affected property owners, asking them if they would want a noise wall, and they want a majority approval. And I can send this to you, Val, and because again, they don't want to put something up that people don't want.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've asked about the noise volume on this highway for a long time, and now that we know that it's gonna be expanded or widened, we know that that's gonna increase the noise that we have on this highway, it gets, sometimes I think Dallas drag strip is still open. Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember that or not, but,
On that road.
yes, okay, so it's the volume, it's a lot. It seems like after 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, it's like Dallas Speedway down through here. But we have a lot of trucks still on the highway, which may turn off now that the roundabout's done, I'm hoping, I don't know. But, go ahead.
Does the time or the noise study, does it take into effect that some hours are more heavier than?
Yeah, absolutely. It takes the whole day. I mean, it's trying to basically take the impacts of the highway, so no matter what time of day, it wants to basically know what the difference is between existing and what's was gonna occur with the liabilities.
So when you said that you'll send it out to the, when they do the noise study and they want to get information out, they'll send it out to just the people that's living along the highway, or?
No, like, let's say there was a noise wall that was recommended on a section of road, those particular property owners who were abutting it, they would be able to vote on it, not like anybody who was off those limits, but those adjacent properties.
Well, I just didn't know if it was something that the entire community can vote on, or if it's just the people on South Park.
Yeah, it's typically if the owners, renters of those adjacent property owners based on property boundaries.
Okay. So the people in South Cornucopia would probably have a voice where people in Cranberry Blossom wouldn't. So,
Yes.
that's what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if it's gonna warrant it or not, but I'm saying in those places where it is warranted, those adjacent property owners would get a vote.
I don't remember who I was talking to at the meeting over at Moses, but the gentleman that I was speaking to, I don't think I spoke with you on that day, but who I was talking to, and he was over there by all the maps and everything, answering all the questions. He's the one that told me that more than likely it's gonna happen. We'll probably get one. So we're just gonna, I'll go out there.
I'm an engineer, I like to be sure before I, tell people stuff,
You could probably compare it to 92. You'll see there's a section in 92 where there is a living wall,
It's just
and then there's other areas where there's not.
Yeah.
So
So
it's really close to the houses.
keep in mind, right here, when this subdivision was basically went through the engineering and the zoning process, they provided an additional 10 feet of right-of-way on the adjacent Dallas-Acworth highway. They also provided a 25-foot easement buffer too, so you have that. So there's a little bit more area, it's not gonna be, the road,
Yeah.
right-of-way does not come right up to y'all's property lines.
Okay, so I know that, there's questions about the neighborhood across the street, on which side it was gonna go on, which road it was gonna take.
I would think that the properties on Fourth Section that are up high will also be affected by street noise.
Well, I mean, we already are up here. I mean, I don't know how you are where you live, but up on Cranberry Blossom, I don't know if I mean, those of us that live up there, it's like living down here because the noise just comes up and over.
Yeah.
So you hear everything. And then you have Fry Road, which is, oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say about Fry Road.
Well, the speed limit's 25, but nobody goes
I think people
25.
go 55 on Fry Road.
Yes,
And
they do.
they come off of, like you were telling me, they're coming off of Dallas-Acworth, and they're turning left onto Fry Road. And then it's a speedway all the way around to the next section or to where they're pulling off. And usually they're turning onto Gullidge and speeding down Gullidge Road and everything. But, even today, we were hearing from one of our neighbors, she was coming up to Fry Road red light and somebody turned off to left and was going extremely fast and was over in her lane. So it happens. So I don't know.
if we get through this quick enough, I do know that Ashley Henson is at the Dallas Markets as we speak right now. He can answer those
Maybe we don't
questions.
have Ashley
I'm
over
teasing,
there.
not teasing that he's there, but
Yeah.
those are questions.
But it's interesting because we asked the guy down here that lives across the street in this other neighborhood, he's a Paulding County sheriff, and we asked him, he says he has no jurisdiction on Fry Road because it's state patrol.
Yeah.
That's what he told us.
What it is, I think, it's a county road, but I don't believe Fry is radar certified.
Right, so there's roads that are radar certified and roads that are not.
Okay.
And I guess if he would know, so if it's not radar certified, which means
Well,
they
he's,
can't shoot radar, they can't shoot radar on that road.
so you guys know the last time?
The last commissioner,
Yeah.
he knew somebody with the state patrol and was friends with, and he called him, and he came up here, and I think he gave somebody in here there.
Well, Terry, I think, no, it was Marion and Lou, or maybe Marion,
Yeah,
Terry.
We saw him.
Yeah.
That was funny.
So they gave out 3 tickets within an hour.
They stopped selling it just
He
after
stopped 7 to 10 people.
Well, if anybody wants to donate an old vehicle or something, we could deck it out with some state patrol logos. Park it on the corner.
I see a lot of people.
Might help.
So, I don't know.
You would think that, his service car park right there is the first house,
You would think it would.
You would think,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but
Yes,
people,
people get used to
it
it.
wouldn't really take long for them to realize that car hadn't moved and there's moss growing on it. That it's not
What about
active.
citizens
Really
arrest?
still,
So tell us about the, because this is gonna affect us, what about the Dallas-Acworth and the Bobo Road in these Paulding areas? There's gonna be a roundabout, is that what the talk is now, up here by the Publix?
No, I think the latest concept to show, there's still traffic signals. We have a project that is in the preliminary engineering phase right now, and it's that section of Dallas-Acworth Highway between the existing Bobo Road and Due West Road. If you go through there now, depending on the time of day, it could be very busy. The problem, those three intersections are spaced very close together.
Yeah.
This particular project moves Bobo to the south, 400 or 500 feet, moves due west, 400 or 500 feet to the north, and then adds essentially a widened 4-lane through there too. So again, you're spacing those intersections further apart, and then you're adding more capacity. But those are projected to be traffic signals.
Okay.
Roundabouts don't. Again, I think of traffic control like a toolbox. You got screwdrivers, hammers, and wrenches. Roundabout does not work great at every place. Sometimes it's a traffic signal. So those are all projected as traffic signals.
Okay, so there's not gonna be really any change there, it's
It's just you're adding lanes and then moving the intersections further away, because right now they back up into each other because they're so close.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and I don't think you have anything to do with this, so I'll ask you, Dean. There's some trees, and y'all may not know, there's a couple of trees on the property when you go out of the neighborhood to the right that's leaning over the highway, and then there's one on the opposite side of the road, actually it's right down from the house that's directly across the street from the neighborhood, that's leaning this way, so we have trees going this way, over the height, all over Fry Road. Who do we contact to have that check on that?
DOT.
Okay.
If they're in the right of way, of the road, it's gonna be, then yes,
Yeah, but we also look at it if they, like some trees are off right away, but they overhang onto the roadway.
Well, I think they're on people's property.
Yeah, but do they overhang onto the right of way? And that's what
Yes, they do, and they're still live trees.
Yeah.
They're not dead trees, I just noticed that they're starting to lean towards the inside of the road.
Yeah, what we typically do on something like that, we look at it and determine, is it likely to fall on the road itself, even though it's off private
Those trees are likely
property?
to do
We
that.
have obviously by law the authority to cut any portion of the tree that hangs onto the right of way.
Okay, all right, so.
If you could just write down those locations
I will.
and
I'll send them to you. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about the Dallas-Acworth highway out here by us? Okay.
Just how far
I'm
in did you say you would be coming, or you don't know that yet?
well, I don't know exactly, the actual dimensions. I'll just say typically this is proposed to be a 4-lane roadway with a median. That takes roughly 120, 130 feet of right of way. So let's say it's 120, that's 60 feet from the center line of the existing road you go over. So,
And right now, the road is probably 15 from center line.
yeah, I mean,
Roughly
we own right now, we own 50, we have the right of way, so it's just the road itself. Yeah, like I said, the pavement's actually about 15 feet wide, so it's gonna go over, enough to fit 2 full lanes, sidewalk, and then part of a median.
So that's a lot.
So Derek, so our problem is, we're on the South Cornucopia, and it's just a cliff from our backyard down, and then a trench. So if the trench disappears, we're just gonna have a cliff going down, there'll be nothing
Is it
there.
a drainage ditch or is it a trench?
I don't know, I've never gone into it, but it's a deep trench there.
What I'll say is, and again, when this subdivision was designed, went through the zoning process, we asked the developer to provide additional right-of-way to accommodate 60-foot right-of-way from the center line of the road this way. We also asked for a 25-foot slope and maintenance easement, and there's also a 20-foot wide buffer, it's called a corridor buffer beyond that. So from the right-of-way that we need, you're likely gonna have 45 feet from the edge of that right-of-way to property lines, and that's what.
45 feet going straight up?
No, laterally.
Okay.
So quite a bit of distance.
So this-
Still quite a bit
okay.
of distance.
Yes.
Yeah, but when you're moving traffic 60 feet closer,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
60 from the center line.
I know, but it's
But
still,
right now, it's already a good
it's
20.
already there.
Yeah.
But you're moving traffic closer once it's done.
Correct.
So, and
Basically,
then
there's traffic 45 feet closer to it.
you're moving
Right,
traffic
exactly.
closer to our community, and there's gonna be a sidewalk on top of that, so.
Assuming the center of the road most likely is still gonna stay the same.
I mean, you
Most
see,
likely the center line is gonna not move.
Because I mean, our
It could in some
request was, there's nothing on the other side, but then again, we don't know what, electricity or water is running in the ground, but if there's no subdivision on the other side, why can't you just take a majority from that?
well, the thing is curvature of the road. I mean, when you put curvature, you just can't put it like a kink in it. This road is designed for 45, 50 miles an hour. If you go down, if you put a curve in it, it's gotta be a very gradual curve to meet the speed design. You can't just jog it out quickly or else it will not meet any type of design criteria. So in this road is straight as an arrow. If you look at it overhead, there is no curvature.
Yeah.
And the property as it sits, the county-owned property or the right-of-way is already based off the center line of the existing road. So if you were to shift everything that way, acquiring more property would have to probably come into play because we don't currently own it or have access to it.
But more than likely, it's not gonna be acquiring any of our property, so.
Right, looking at this plan, like I said, we've had 120 feet of right of way, total 60 feet from the center line this way, and there's also that 25-foot slope easement maintenance area. And then there's also that 20-foot corridor buffer there.
So other than just getting the traffic closer to us.
Right.
So, all right, Iris, you had a question.
Yes, you said, this project would probably start in 7 years and later?
Exactly, so once we get done the scoping phase, at that point in time, we'll advertise for preliminary engineering services,
So it would start from where, Cedarcrest down to East Paulding?
No, it would start up at Cedarcrest and go, right now it's at Mount Tabor Church Road, the traffic signal here.
At the traffic signal.
So what would happen to the rest?
There's a project going on in New Hope, like I talked about, the one going from Bobo to due west, but on the other sections of Dallas-Acworth, there's no other projects that are programmed or active at this time.
Okay.
So going towards, once you get past Bobo Road, going towards Dallas, there's nothing going on from that right now.
I will say that the state has a roundabout project at the intersection of Merchants Drive, Legion Road, to put in a single lane roundabout there. I don't know what the exact schedule is, I can email you and tell you, but that's within the city of Dallas, city limits of Dallas.
If you're going from here to.
Yeah, it's very busy, it's needed.
So are you talking about that place where it comes around and you're coming Dallas-Acworth and
It's before, it's before that one, it's the intersection
It's
before
where
that.
you turn on the Legion Road.
You know where the gas station is?
Oh.
Yeah, are you talking about Glynshyre?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Wherever the new gas station is.
That one's not so bad as when you
It's
get
the
to
next one down.
Yeah, and that project does take into account that intersection also. It's gonna make it so you can't turn into it anymore. You can only go out and make a right.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's dangerous.
Right.
I'm sorry I was late, I got caught in traffic, but anyway, really, traffic is a mess out here. Anyway, I live on North Cornucopia. The fence is like where you're standing. I can just see cars going through the thing. So I'm wondering, how close is that gonna be to my yard, to my house?
Well, he said it's
That's
gonna.
really close. I mean, I can just stand there and see.
She's on north, not
I'm
south.
on North Cornucopia. And so, I'm wondering,
She's like right back here by the retention or detention or whatever that thing's
yeah,
called.
and it's like noisy, the sirens, the ambulance, and whatever. But when do you think you'll start the noise study,
That'll be during the preliminary engineering once,
Okay.
yeah.
That's not until at least for
7
2 more years. All right.
That's gonna be, at least a couple years out, yes.
Oh, okay.
So all that will have to be done before they start on the road, probably, I think.
Yes, that's correct, yeah, those.
So nothing's gonna ease this traffic at all?
Well, the problem is, no, I mean, I wouldn't say ease, I guess the traffic's gonna grow, the county's gonna grow. I'll tell you, when I first came to the county working in 2004, there was less than 100,000 residents. Now we're at 200,000, and it's gonna continue to grow. Like y'all moved here, people move here for whatever reason, quality of life, and it's desirable, and unfortunately, traffic is a impact of that also.
Yeah. Well, we've been out here for 30 years and all of it's transformed. You know, there wasn't even a Kroger or nothing on 92. So it's all changed. So,
But we do intersection projects and widening projects to try to, help ease the pain, but we can't build fast, and we don't have the money to build everything out. It's just the way it is. Like in Cobb, people who came from Cobb, you understand this. It's the same type of thing.
yeah. All right, so that takes care of this property. Does anybody have any other questions about the Dallas-Acworth here? Okay, and we don't necessarily need to worry about the East Paulding and Bobo, because that's just gonna be moving red lights. The Cedarcrest and Harmony Church Grove that we all use to stay off in 92, it sounds like that's gonna be in the next couple of years that we're gonna have that going. But 92 should be done.
That would be nice.
The other question I have is like, I go over to West Cobb to exercise, and so with all the construction, I go on Mount Tabor to due west, and then you have what is a dangerous left turn
Oh, yeah.
to get back on due west.
92 at due west.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'll say that, that is a state highway. The state has a widening project that's programmed, I believe it's fiscal year 29. But the county, because of that intersection, because of the amount of people going through, there's a lot of delays, there's a lot of riding on crashes. The Board of Commissioners elected to take on a project there to improve the intersection. We didn't have to, board didn't have to, they took it on. We're acquiring right away right now. We hope to let that project out for construction before the end of the year. And what that does, it takes due west, how it currently ties in, like kind of at an angle.
Right.
It's moving it south about 600 feet because the state owns the road. They would not allow us to put a traffic signal there because it's so close to the other intersection. So the Board of Commissioners had to purchase property, that trailer park that was there, and we essentially taken a road and kind of taking due west and hooking it back into 92. And so we're gonna start construction on that. And so hopefully we'll award the project or advertise the project before the end of the year, and we'll start construction in 2026.
Well, my GPS would have me go down East Paulding to Dallas Highway to.
Yes,
And I was like,
it's a little while
do
away.
you know how bad the traffic is on Dallas Highway?
So tell me about, or tell us about, what do you know, Dean, about the property here on Dallas-Acworth and Fry, the corner that they were gonna put a gas station, and we came to the commissioners meeting and fought that, and then I was able to get through. I tell you, the red light's the best thing we were able to do since we've been here. I have to say, one of the better things we.
The hump.
Oh, the hump going over the road.
Yeah.
I treat that as a speed breaker. So, but what's going on with that property?
Nothing since the commissioners meeting has changed that I'm aware of. Now, George might know a little bit more.
I believe the property was purchased.
Yeah, I heard it was purchased, but we didn't know.
I haven't seen any active plans.
You didn't zone it for a gas station or something.
No, we were told it would not be that way.
It was just purchased.
Yeah.
Right, and it's zoned, it's not B1 right now.
It's just
I
residential.
think it's residential, like R2 or something is what it's on. So we'd have to go through us to get the zoning changed.
Yeah.
And there hasn't been, I haven't heard anything as far as anybody requesting a zoning change on it as of yet.
Because people from Cedarcrest, Seven Hills use Village Road. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
just.
Until those 500 houses get moved into that are there. Do you think there's a lot now?
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
500 houses where?
When you go Gullich to see
Oh, yeah. And there's
Seven Hills
another.
Boulevard.
I think we ought to,
Huge, that's 500 houses.
I think we ought to blackball any D.R. Horton homes.
Yes.
You didn't hear this from me, but we're trying.
Well, we could be witnesses.
Yeah, I know.
And as a matter of fact, I was gonna ask, how do you get petitions, permits to picket an area where D.R. Horton's building? Is that possible? I know it's
I don't know what you're preaching to the choir as far as those types of developments. That's what I ran on, and that's what I've been fighting for the last year and a half. as a matter of fact, I just yesterday had our final meeting with the local builders, the non-DR roads, the ones that we don't want to hurt, the ones that do live in our community, the ones who hire everybody in our community. I've been meeting with them for the past 6 to 7 months, multiple meetings on changing rules, regulations, and ordinances, so that they're gonna be changed, I guess, and in a
We're a day late, a dollar short.
in a good way, but in a good way for us, in that it'll be good for the local home builders, and probably a little more difficult to do business in Paulding County if you're a national builder.
Okay.
Good.
I'll leave
That's
it
good
at
to
that.
know.
So, and then you'll actually see that our plan is finalize the meeting, everything yesterday. Our plan is that we'll vote on it in January, so pay attention to our January meeting, because we'll probably be voting on incorporating those changes.
Okay, so, there's one other question I left my mind.
Is it to be in road there?
I know, so well, I can't think of now. But these meetings that you're talking about, they're still open for the community to attend.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, they're online too. So you can go online and watch it, they're the second, fourth Tuesday of every month, and we've got a 10 o'clock. It switches, the first meeting of the month is a 10 and a 2. Basically discussion of the topics at 10, at 2 we vote on it, and then the other meeting, the third Tuesday of the month is a 10, and then at 6 is the other meeting as far as voting on it. But they are, if you go onto the website, you'll see that you can watch them online.
Okay. All right, so we can keep up with the road information online, and that's Paulding County Government or what is it?
Paulding.gov.
Paulding.gov.
Paulding.gov. Louis, did you have a question?
Yeah, is there gonna be a road from Seven Hills straight to 61?
As part of their development plans, the nature walks, they're building a road that's going from the existing Nature Walk Parkway, which connects on to Seven Hills
They're just
Boulevard.
not starting yet.
And it's gonna go over to Mount Moriah Road. So it won't go exactly to 61, it'll hit Mount Moriah, which then you can go to 61.
So you know where we're talking about?
Yeah.
You know where Josh lives, you can go
Yes.
straight down that. Well, they've got it blocked off now, but they're starting on that now,
Okay.
so,
That's what I said.
That's part of nature walks
yeah.
requirement.
They
as
need
far as
one,
those-
there's only one way in and one way out there,
That's why.
so. Anyway, okay, does anybody have any other questions about any of the road construction? Oh, I'm sorry.
Nature Walk is a interior subdivision inside of Seven Hills.
Oh, it's off of that Seven Hills connector, you know where CVS and Publix is, off of Cedarcrest, you can turn right there. That's,
If you come out of Elledge Road, you
Elledge
come
Road.
towards Elledge
yeah.
Road.
Why don't I have you here, when is the elementary school over there on this connector gonna be open? Do you
Next
know?
fall.
The elementary is,
By the new Crossroads Middle
are they
School?
still calling for it for next year?
That's what I
So
heard.
it's gonna take a lot of kids
off.
off of Shelton. Is it gonna take I wonder if it's gonna take most of Seven Hills out of Shelton from over there?
That remains to be seen, but I don't, yeah, they're gonna, the school district that's their choice as far as what they
They
want to
still
do. But their
targeted
plan,
for
their
school
plan,
year.
as far as I still know, is that it'll be open for school year, start school year next year.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
They sent out an email to affected parents about redistricting, I know some schools.
Have they done that?
Yeah, that was sent either yesterday or today.
Oh, I'll have to see. Interesting, I'm glad I asked that. Okay, if we don't have any other questions about the road or anything else that you guys are concerned about, then we will let these guys go. You good?
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
This is longer than most relationships I've ever had.